I checked into a cheap roadside motel just outside Flagstaff, Arizona. It was one of those outdated places with flickering neon signs, thin walls, and carpets that smelled like old cigarettes and cleaning fluid. I was driving cross country and needed a place to crash for the night. The guy at the front desk looked half asleep when I arrived, handed me the key to room 210, and barely made eye contact. The room was fine. Outdated, sure. Yellowed lampshades, a tube TV that didn't work, and that weird faint buzzing noise you sometimes hear in old electronics. But I was exhausted. I laid on top of the covers. No way was I pulling them back, and drifted off pretty fast. Around 2 a.m., I woke up to something that sounded like humming. At first, I thought it was coming from my own room. I sat up, listened. It was a woman's voice, low, soft, almost like a lullaby. I got up thinking maybe the room next to mine had the TV on, or someone was talking on speakerphone, but the voice didn't stop. It kept humming the same strange melody on a loop. No lyrics, just a haunting tune. I pressed my ear to the wall. The humming was definitely coming from the next room, room 209. It kept going for maybe 20 minutes before finally stopping. I was wide awake by then, kinda creeped out, but I eventually managed to fall back asleep. The next morning, I passed the front desk on my way to check out. The clerk from the night before was gone, replaced by a younger woman. I casually mentioned that someone in 209 had been awake and humming all night. She gave me this blank look. Room 209? She repeated. That room hasn't been booked for months. We had some water damage in there. It's gutted. No bed, no power. I laughed awkwardly, thinking she was joking. She wasn't. I went back out to my car, drove past that side of the building, and yeah, room 209 had no curtains. I could see right into it through the window. The room was stripped to the frame. No furniture, no lights, just exposed drywall and debris. I still don't know who or what I heard humming in that room. I was traveling through rural Oregon on a solo hiking trip last October. It was supposed to be a digital detox kind of thing. Just me, the woods, and some peace and quiet. But a storm rolled in earlier than expected and trapped me in town for the night. I found a cheap roadside hotel called the Pine View Inn, one of those old L-shaped two-story buildings with faded paint and vending machines that haven't worked in decades. The lobby was empty when I walked in, except for a plastic skeleton hanging from the ceiling. Halloween decorations, I assumed. Eventually, a woman came out from the back office. She looked frazzled, like I had interrupted something. Without even asking for ID, she handed me the key to room 112 and said, "You're the only guest tonight, so you'll have the place to yourself." The room wasn't bad, just old. It had that heavy motel smell, stale carpet, bleach, something else underneath. I dumped my bag and planned to get food from the vending machines, but the soda machine outside was busted. The snack one was lit up but completely empty. That's when I noticed the ice machine. It sat alone at the far end of the second floor walkway under a flickering light. It was loud, constantly humming and rattling like it was struggling to stay alive. I climbed the stairs, figuring I could at least fill a cup with ice and pour in some of the water I brought. As I got closer, I heard a noise underneath the machine, not the normal mechanical kind, something softer, like breathing. I froze, crouched down, and I swear to God, I saw a hand slip back into the shadows beneath the machine. I stood there, heart pounding, staring at the space underneath. It was just a dark, dusty void about 2 feet high. Too small for someone to hide in, I thought, but I was sure I saw a hand, pale, dirty, with long fingers that twitched once before pulling away. I backed up, went back to my room, locked the door, and sat on the bed with my back against the wall. I wanted to call someone, but my phone had no signal and the room phone was dead. I didn't sleep. I just sat there all night, lights on, eyes on the door. Around 3:40 a.m., I heard something outside my window. My room was on the ground floor, facing the back lot. Through the curtains, I saw the ice machine's light flickering in the distance, and standing just in front of it, half in shadow, was a man. Tall, thin, with stringy hair hanging in his face. He was barefoot, no shirt, just pants that looked soaked around the ankles. His skin looked too pale, almost gray. He just stood there, rocking slightly. Then, after a few minutes, he started walking down the walkway toward my room, slowly, limping, his arms swinging unnaturally wide at his sides. I got down on the floor. I didn't want him to see me through the window. My heart was pounding so hard I thought he'd hear it. Then I heard it knock, just once, on my door. Then a scrape, like his fingernail dragged across the wood. Then silence. I waited. I don't know how long. Maybe 10 minutes, maybe 30. Eventually I crawled over and peeked through the window. No one there, just that empty walkway under the dead hallway light. When the sun came up, I packed everything and bolted to the front desk. The woman from before was gone. A man was working the desk now. I told him what happened, half expecting him to laugh it off. Instead, he looked tired, like he'd heard this before. He just said, "You shouldn't go near the ice machine after dark. He likes to sleep under there." I asked him what that meant, if it was a joke. He looked at me and said, "Just be glad he didn't knock twice." Thanks for watching this horror story. I am new to YouTube, and it is a great passion of mine. The story was narrated with AI, but edited all by a human, so it's not feeding into AI slop. If you'd like to see more horror stories, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and feel free to leave any feedback or ideas in the comments. Thanks for watching. This is Closet TV.